Hey guys, it's Melissa, and I'm excited to join you today for the Fundamentals video. Today from Anita's Fundamentals, we're going to be stitching the hand-stitched quilt block technique. To do this, you guys have the materials list in the tutorial from that book, so we're going to go over some of those real quick, but you can follow along with that PDF as well. Some of the items you're going to need is some no-show mesh stabilizer, some quilt block batting, and a base fabric of your choice, along with some embroidery threads. We're going to go ahead and hoop our stabilizer, and then we can get started. With your hoop locked into your machine and your design pulled up on screen, you can run the first step, which will be the squaring stitch, to indicate where you're going to place your batting. With your squaring stitch ran, you can now take a piece of quilt block batting and place it over the squaring stitches. We want to make sure the stitches are covered on all sides, so just be sure you have enough batting to cover them. Once your batting is placed, you can return the hoop to the machine and run the tacking stitch. Once your batting has been tacked down, we can take a pair of curved tip embroidery scissors to trim away the excess batting from that tacking stitch. Be sure to trim close and just take care not to clip any of the stitches. Once you've trimmed your batting, we can then take our base fabric of choice and lay that over the quilt block. Make sure again that you have enough fabric for a 1/2 inch seam allowance on all 4 sides. With your fabric in place, you can return the hoop to the machine and run the tacking stitch. Bonus tip for you guys, be sure to match your tacking stitch to your fabric color as well. Once you've run the tacking stitch for the base fabric, it's now fun time to do the embroidery part of the design. Pick your colors depending on the different parts of the design you're choosing to stitch, and you can follow the numbered machine steps for the block as well. From there, we swap our thread colors, and then you can begin the embroidery process. The first embroidery step that's going to be run after your base fabric is going to be the quilt stippling, so it's important to remember to use a thread that's going to match the base fabric. It's important to remember that the purpose of the stippling step for your quilt block is to quilt your block to the batting. For this reason, it's also helpful to match that thread to your fabric so that those stitches will kind of disappear into the background, allowing the design on your block to be the main focus. From the stippling step, we can now continue to run the embroidery following our design's numbered machine step. You can change out your threads at this point on each step as you prefer until the design is complete. We love the hand stitch technique at Anita Goodesign for the way the finished look comes out. Each design has been hand digitized so that the ply of thread will pass over more than once or twice, creating that layered look that we love. The lightweight density of these designs allows them to be used on everything from aprons and different projects to quilt blocks like you see here. Alright everyone, our design has finished stitching out and it looks so cute. So at this point, the embroidery for the hand stitch design is finished and we can go ahead and remove it from our embroidery hoop. Alright, from here I've laid my block down on a cutting surface and I have a rotary cutter and a ruler. We're going to go ahead and trim all 4 sides to a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And there you have it, guys. There is your hand-stitched quilt block from Anita's Fundamentals. I hope you guys enjoyed stitching out this quilt block with me, and stay tuned for more.